Hello, everyone. Let me adjust that a little bit. Welcome to Silent Hill Symbolism. Turn that off. That shouldn't have been on. Obviously, it's been a while since I've had a video titled Silent Hill Symbolism. This is a little bit of a catch-up, update kind of thing. As you all know, I did some live episodes for a little while, when I was having trouble with editing. And then I brought an editor onto the team, my good friend / cousin, Brad. He made the last video. He's currently working on another, but real life and having a 2-year-old child makes the progress pretty slow. So in between, I thought we would do more live episodes and open-ended discussions like this. For one, so that we can continue to keep the series going in between longer episodes. And for another, a lot of folks have paid for commissions to discuss certain topics, and I don't want those folks to have to wait for months for their topic to come up. So, that said, this week's is a very open-ended topic because the question that I was presented with, rather than being asked to research a person or a location, I was simply asked the question, what would have happened if Eddie hadn't killed the dog? Which I thought was very interesting. So I thought it'd be far more suitable to discuss it in a kind of open-ended way rather than doing a pre-made video or essay, since it's not really, I don't think it's really suited to that. That said, let's say hello to everyone. Hey, Garza, Lobsol, Bernardo, Leon, Candy Dreams, Delvin, Julie. Hello, everybody. It has been a while since you've been here, Garza. Good to see you again. I think this is also our first multi-stream Silent Hill video, so if you're on Facebook, be sure to share this around, all that jazz. So, to get to the question, what would have happened if Eddie hadn't killed the dog? Well, we have to consider what it means for his story that this dog is dead. To cover over what happened and remind you, perhaps, if you don't know what dog I'm talking about, Eddie's story before he enters Silent Hill is that he was very horribly bullied as a child for being overweight and not being one of the cool kids, specifically by one football player at his high school. He grew up and got a job at a gas station and still couldn't get away from this bully that kept seeking him out. And eventually it drove him to enact revenge. And that was a twofold process. He shot the man in the knee to ruin his football futures. And he poisoned the man's dog and watched the dog die. And described the dog as trying to chew its own guts out as it died. Then he ran away out of guilt and fear and ended up in Silent Hill. So the question was, what if he hadn't killed the dog? That would mean that his only crime was to shoot the guy that had bullied him in the knee. He didn't kill the guy. He did ruin his future, but that's almost a kind of fair trade given what the guy had done to him and the fact that the social credibility he had that allowed him to bully Eddie came from the fact that he was such a popular football player. It is almost karma in a way that it happened this way. If he had just shot the man and run off, would he have ended up in Silent Hill? I don't know that's the case. I think that the death of the dog is really the crime that sticks with him. And I think there's a lot of evidence for that in the story and in some of the surrounding literature. When Eddie goes to town, we see him acting very violently, and he's surrounded by a lot of corpses. It's kind of implied that he's going around town and killing all these people. But according to Masahiro Ito, and he discusses Silent Hill on his Twitter quite often, Eddie does not actually kill anyone in Silent Hill. Those corpses are either delusions or were already dead when Eddie found them. He did not kill these people, which would mean the only death he's ever been guilty of was of the dog. And the dog was the innocent in this situation. When you go into Silent Hill in the second game, there are no dog monsters, even though in Silent Hills 1, 3, and 4, they are very prominent monsters in the game. And it would have been very easy for them to have taken the models of the first game's dogs and reused them for the second game. They made the very specific decision to not do that, to not include dogs, even though it would have been very easy. When you first enter into Silent Hill, you can actually hear dogs barking sometimes in the distance. I've heard it some, I've not heard it, depending on my particular time I'm playing the game. And so the implication seems to be that if there are dog monsters in Silent Hill, we cannot see them. They aren't part of James's experience in Silent Hill. The way that we see Angela's experience for a while, and hers is so fiery and has the monster that looks like her father. Eddie seems to be the one that has the dogs. I'll take a quick break and say hello to folks jumping in. Hey guys, Tina, I hope I said that right. Nintendopeman, Mochi Molly, Phil, different Phil. I'll have to call you Phil Mitchell so that I don't confuse you with that rampant criminal Phil McDowell. Elizabeth, Jamie, Billy, hey. Hello, Sarah, needs more work. Thanks for joining us. It seems to me Eddie and Angela's crimes are distinctly lesser crimes than James. Angela kills out of self-defense. Eddie ruins a man's life and kills his dog. I agree in general. I think Eddie's crime is really upsetting, but definitely neither of their crimes is really on that personal level so deeply messed up and tragic the way that James's crime is with his wife, which I think is obviously why he's the main character. At the same time, I think Eddie's the more dangerous figure. If James doesn't learn from his mistake and continues the cycle, and, you know, as Maria leaves town with him and is coughing, it's kind of implied that's what's going to happen. He could possibly end up mistreating Maria again, but Eddie seems to go possibly be on the path towards a rampage, which we will cover here. I think he kind of realizes that he's fallen down this road, but he doesn't know how else to be. That he has been so traumatized that he can't figure out a way to live a normal life anymore in a similar way that Angela has. And so this leads to him going to the town to try and find an escape. The game doesn't make this quite as obvious, but the novelization adds quite a lot to his experience in the town and gives a better viewpoint as to what's going through his head. There's a lot more dialogue in the scene towards the end when he dies. He literally says to James, "There's no saving me," and asks James to kill him because he's out of bullets. He has no more bullets in his gun. When he's on the floor dying, he has this, presumably a delusion, because James cannot see it. He sees 4 dogs appear and start to eat his guts. And remember, he joked about the fact that the dead dog, or the dog that he killed, had died with poison trying to chew its own guts out. And he has the comment that, "Oh, these dogs that are killing me look like the dog I killed." And there's something to the fact that his character is associated heavily with being overweight and being bullied for that. His comfort is obviously from food, which is why we see him eating the pizza and, you know, trying to escape, you know, that kind of thing. And he dies from being eaten. And the dog died trying to eat himself. There's, you know, this weird combination there associating what he was tormented for and how he lashed out at people, he ends up being eaten himself in a room full of meat, like a meat packing room. Kind of, this combination of, I only see people and others as meat, as things that I can kill, or that I only value things I can consume. And then he was consumed himself by the dog that represented what he felt so guilty about. So his sin was gluttony. In a sense, yes, gluttony in the sense that he escaped through food, and he wanted so much just to keep killing and killing, or, in his own mind, he thought he was killing. Let's see here. Oh, well, thanks for joining us, Phil Mitchell. We'll see you next time. Let's see. You can decide for yourself how guilty you find them, which is very cool. I agree. I think that's really interesting. So when the dogs appear to get Eddie, he actually has a comment that I thought was really interesting. He says, "You stupid dog, you come back to bite me after all this time." Again, they do eat him in his delusion, but the phrase "back to bite me" implies in English, a sense of revenge. They've come back for revenge, which means he recognizes what he did was wrong, that the dog was innocent. You really don't ever see him feeling guilty about what happened to the football player. It's very rarely discussed. And honestly, playing the game, you don't really get a sense that he hurt a person. I only found out, doing more research in the novelization and extra materials. But he actually mentions killing the dog in the game. And so that seems to be the crime that's driven him here. Let's see. There are some theories that say that Mira might represent the dog that he killed. In the fun ending, when Eddie appears in the credits, Mira actually growls. I don't know how much that is likely. I don't know that that's likely. I think it is kind of a fun coincidence that the only real dog you meet in the game is in the goof ending. But I think that's more just meant to be fun rather than anything else. I think the fact that we don't see the dogs, it really ties into the fact that the dog represents Eddie's guilt, and we are not walking Eddie's path. We are walking James's path. So it tells us that, this is what he feels guilty about, and this is what he really regrets. And he recognizes on some level that what he did was wrong. He just doesn't, like Angela, he has nowhere else to go and doesn't know what else to do with himself. Because Angela, she killed her family, the people that abused her, but she doesn't know where else to go or what else to do with herself. She's so damaged that she doesn't know how to function anymore, and neither does Eddie, in a different direction. He's become so angry and violent towards the world that he tortured a dog, which is famously one of the first steps towards being a serial killer. And I honestly think that is what he was trying to avoid. Angela was looking for a way to commit suicide and was not sure about it, hesitating, and eventually works her way through to that because that's the only freedom she sees. Eddie, on the other hand, I think, was looking for someone to kill him because he could not yet face killing himself, but on a certain level recognized he had gone wrong. And so James, in a way, helps both to recognize and approach what they needed to escape from what was hurting them so badly, which was to be killed or kill yourself, which is really tragic and horrible, but that's Silent Hill for you. And I think it also definitely represents two sides of James's future, where in some of the endings of the game, he kills himself like Angela. Presumably, some of the endings, he may end up being killed in the future. Say Maria goes home with him and he ends up mistreating her the same way. Possibly she turns on him. She does have a gun. But that's all very open-ended, and I thought it was interesting. It wasn't a very deep question, what happens if the dog dies, but I thought it was an interesting topic. And I think the person who commissioned it, thank you so much for the support. I recognize that's a very short topic, but if folks have more questions or things that they would like to discuss, we will continue to chat for a while. And then I'm going to stream a Silent Hill game. Members of the channel, folks who support the Gaming Muse monetarily, have voted, And Silent Hill Homecoming and Silent Hill Downpour are actually tied. So I figured I would let you kind folks who have appeared here today help break the tie. Vote between Downpour and Homecoming in the chat, and then we will play the game that wins. Well, let's take a look at comments. I asked something, but your videos have been very thorough. Thanks for them. Oh, well, thank you, Doomer. I'm so glad you like them. I've really enjoyed making them and researching them, even if I've kind of drifted away from... I've come to like doing live things rather than pre-edited things. I still really love the work that I've done in the past, and I will continue to research Silent Hill, even if it's in a different way. Oh, thank you, Delvin. Welcome. Thank you so much. When will I do the next Symbolism video? My editor is currently working on it. It's a really good one that you're all gonna really love. Unfortunately, he had like 3 people quit at his job, and so he's been overwhelmed with work, which really stinks. I told him, do not worry about it. Do not stress yourself, you know. Real life takes precedent, but hopefully soon. I think in the meanwhile, I will try to aim to have 2 episodes of Silent Hill Symbolism a month. If that's 2 live ones, fine. If he ends up finishing a project, and then I can put that out, and then we'll do an extra live one, we'll do that. But it'll all be based on his needs, and I'm not going to pressure him to rush any videos out. They'll come when they come. But it does look very cool. I'm excited about this one. Let's see. We getting a lot of votes for Homecoming. Born from a Wish needs a Symbolism video. It really does, and it's something that will be done in the future. I have a list of topics that I want to approach, and I kind of have to balance which ones I do when, because certain topics get more... they get advertised more by the YouTube algorithm. So I try and, you know, do a character here, jump over to a different game and do a location here. I kind of try to pace them out, but it's on the list. I do need to get footage of that. It's looking like Homecoming's winning. How could you guys? You know Downpour's my favorite. Looks like we'll be doing Homecoming. I love your videos. Aw, thank you, Garcia. I'm glad you enjoy them. Thank you all for the support. I know things have been weird and wild for a lot of folks, and my YouTube channel has changed certainly in the last couple months, but I very much appreciate all of y'all who've stuck with me through it and continue to enjoy my work, even as I've kind of changed direction and done different things. It really does mean a lot. It's been a little nerve-wracking for me and stressful for sure, and I've felt guilty sometimes, and I'm like, I don't need to, I do this stuff for free, I should do what I enjoy. But it's been different for sure, and I hope that everyone will continue to enjoy stuff, and more normal Silent Hill Symbolisms will come. It'll just be some time while my editor works on them. It'll be worth it. The next one is a character video. I have 2 Silent Hill Symbolism videos that every month without fail are my highest rated videos, always, even though they are years old. And so I finally did a redo, you know, one of the videos where I remake a very old video. That's what this one will be, and it's of my most popular video of all time. So those are your hints as to what's coming next. I've remade my most popular video of all time, so we will see how that goes. I think it'll be neat if it ends up coming out in October, because that would be good timing. Next week, I'll do another of these, because like I said, quite a few people have done Silent Hill Symbolism requests, and I don't want them to have to wait for my editor to finish them, because that could literally be months. So next week, we'll do another request. I have to look at which one's next. But that will be what we do, and then I'll save the rest for next month. Have only seen vids of Downpour, nothing for Homecoming. Then if it hurts that bad, go for Downpour. No, I enjoy both. Downpour is just my favorite. I'm very fond of it. I have done videos on Homecoming. I've done less. I think I did one on the Pyramid Head, one on Scarlet and her father. I might have done one on a location, but I definitely have done fewer for Homecoming. And I've not done any for Downpour, have I? No, I have done 2 or 3 on locations, but I don't have a lot of Downpour footage, and so I haven't been able to do those in the past. I'll have to change that up soon. Unfortunately, my copy that was on, I believe, Xbox, or perhaps it was, I had a Silent Hill Downpour stream I was doing, and the game just crashed. We couldn't get any further. And I researched and found that it actually runs better on a different console, so I bought it again. So in the future, we will have to stream it again. My goal is to stream Silent Hill once a month, and just lately have been busy and haven't gotten around to it, so I figured today would be a good day to do that. And members voted, and we tied. So I guess y'all will be the tiebreakers, and we'll do Homecoming. It'll be fun. Tomorrow, I don't know that I will be doing anything. I think I'm going to use that to work on the Silent Hill 3 book, which, if you didn't know, is now available for pre-order, as well as all my other books are currently discounted. I have a book written on Silent Hill 1, a book written on Silent Hill 2 that goes way more into depth into the research and my thoughts and opinions on the games. And there's also a book that contains the scripts of the first 50 Silent Hill Symbolism videos. All those books are available on my website, links in the description. There's ebooks, there's some audiobooks, there's hardback and paperback, and if you bundle them up, you get discounts. So that's my spiel there. Monday, we'll start up Heaven Official's Blessings reading again, and then afterwards we'll hop into the Discord and finish watching The Untamed, which is a show that we've been watching as a group, and we're at the end. Y'all should definitely join the Discord and hang out with us. We play games, watch TV, goof off. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. Did somebody ask about the movie? Yes. I have done a video on the movie in general, but not on specific symbolism. And I think that would be a fun project for this Halloween, to maybe do a live stream as a channel watching it, because Twitch actually just recently opened up allowing people to stream movies together. So we could actually do that, theoretically. I don't know how I'd put it on YouTube, but I guess I'll figure it out. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll focus on finishing the Silmarillion, because we're very close, and continuing the Darkness. And then Thursday, I'm going to start a new book reading for the TV show that's just started called Scumbag System. It's based on one of my favorite books, and it comes out every Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So we'll read the books on Thursday and then watch the TV show in the Discord, and that'll be really fun. Eventually, Fanfic Friday is going to come back. I'm kind of updating how I do it. So I will let y'all know when it comes back, hopefully soon. And I think that's all of my news. So, unless anybody else has any specific Silent Hill questions or discussion topics, we'll call it here. I will go get lunch, and then I'll come back with Silent Hill Homecoming. All right. Live stream the second movie that's horror. Are you concerned about YouTube copyright strikes because of Konami games and characters? Welcome, Knives Sama. I presume that's a Trigun reference. Love it. I actually do not get any hits on those things. YouTube is far more upset about music, and I learned years and years ago, very early on, not to use Akira Yamaoka's music. My editor actually makes my music now, which is really lovely. He is so talented. But I will definitely I avoid using their music because that seems to be the only thing they ever mark. They don't seem to care much about visual stuff. I've never really been hit by them. I have been hit by Square Enix sometimes, but only for like their cutscenes they don't want people to see. Like when I streamed Final Fantasy X and it blocked the ending. That infuriates me, but no, I've never really had issues with that. Yeah, well, thank you, Delvin, for all the support. You're so lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our members. Delvin, Jessica, Jeff, Billy, who else was here today? Silent Leon, members, you are all amazing and wonderful. You keep the channel alive, and I love you. If you would like to become a member and help support the channel, you can do so for as little as 99 cents a month. You get a lot of bonus content, extra videos, extra research, free access to my digital books, all kinds of things. You can find a full list of your benefits in the description, as well as links to joining. You can also simply donate through PayPal or Coffee. You can buy my books, all that stuff. helps me out. Right now I'm saving up money to buy a better microphone because this one's, it's frustrating me. I don't like it. I think I need something that sounds a little better. So it really does help quite a lot. Are we gonna try Lost Highway for Halloween videos? Yes! I do think it would be quite fun to watch some Silent Hill films that, films that inspired the games, and discussing the connections and stuff would be fun. So we will do that this October. And no worries, need more work. I know lots of folks are having trouble right now monetarily and can't do that kind of thing. If you cannot support, don't feel guilty. You can always share the channel on your social media sites, Facebook groups, Discord channels, Twitter, all that kind of stuff also helps a lot. You can comment on the videos or like them. All that stuff helps a lot. So thank you all once again. I will be back in a few minutes to stream Silent Hill, and until then, I'll see you later. Bye.